There's a good chance a lot of you are budget anglers and you don't have a whole lot of cash to spend on rods and reels, and that's all good. Today's video, I'm showing you that the Abu Garcia Black Max, which retails for about $29, is a solid reel. So my girlfriend had been throwing some really old spin cast equipment, and she's out here catching 4.5 pound bass, and I can't let her be throwing crappy spin cast equipment. So I picked this up for her a week and a half ago, the Abu Garcia Black Max 30 series spinning reel, and we're going to put this thing through its paces and see if it can handle casting, how smooth it is, and see what it can stand up to as far as catches. What we're throwing right now is a Jenko Rip Knocker. This came in the April mystery tackle box. 16-pound monofilament line. A little heavy for this reel, but that's all good. We're just kind of putting this thing to its paces. We're going to swap this thing out with braid one day, but as of right now, good for what we need. We're getting almost towards the end of our line capacity on this thing, so definitely throw some lighter line on here. That's going to be your friend, lighter line. You get yourself a little extra casting distance. We're not getting too far out there, but we're getting far enough. We've already been on them so far today with the traps. Pretty smooth as far as reeling goes. Not the smoothest. I mean, it is a 4-bearing system, 4+1. Not the absolute smoothest reeling, but still pretty solid. I mean, for what it is, for a budget $29 reel, it's doing its job, and it's doing it fairly well. And we're throwing this on a medium action rod, 6 foot, so it's not really loaded up with a ton of power. But as far as the smoothness of its casting, it's just fine. You know, a lot of people really know the Black Max label for their bait casters, which I have one, and I've never had any problems out of it. I really like it for a $28 reel. And if you buy it for the same purposes that I bought this one, trying to find if somebody's really wanting to get into fishing or not, it's a good way to start. There we go. There we go. Come on, fight me a little bit. He inhaled that thing, got all 3 hooks. Ooh, he got himself a little gash on the side. He took a bite there. He's obviously taking a bite there. Looks like he's missing a big chunk of his tail. That's weird. Let's get a little photo for Instagram. So from what I can tell so far, this is not a bad little budget reel. I really want to hook into a bigger fish and see if maybe we can test this thing out as far as its drag system. We need to catch something that's 2.5 pounds or bigger to really test this thing out, to see how it can handle it. Construction wise, it seems to be good. I wish this handle was a little bit longer. I wish the grip was a little bit bigger, because I can see myself throwing, you know, a weightless wacky or something on here and not having my hand on the handle at all times, and then just have it sort of like fumbling to get to it. It's not bad. It is a little small, so if you are a person who likes big handles on your combos, then you know you can always swap that out. Guys, I cannot believe this spot that I'm fishing today. This gorgeous farm pond. Cows, horses, goats. Hi. Don't forget about your friends. I know there are big bass in this pond. I caught a 4.5 pounder here last October, and hopefully we can hook one of those big girls, because we're trying to test this Abu Garcia Black Max to see how well it handles big fish. The one we caught before, not much bigger than a pound, 1.5 pounds tops. There we go. There we go, fish on. Another little guy. Still, this drag did not slip once. I mean, he was barely hooked, but it stayed pegged. Drag didn't slip at all. And I've actually got it a little bit loose. Just to give you an idea of where I've got this drag set, I've got it set loose enough that I can pull out some slack if I need to. So I got to give this drag system, you know, really good marks. I'm impressed. with a $30 reel. The drag system is really good. The casting is really good. The line capacity, not the best, but I am using 16-pound mono, so I'm using big, thick line. If I drop this thing down to 10-pound mono or like a 10-pound braid, I could get a lot more line on here. I mean, it flies. The line flies right off that spool. We got almost a full spool. I mean, it's pretty full with this 16-pound line. And I'm casting it out there to the point where I can see the red underneath the line. And it'll cast pretty far, even with heavy line on a 6-foot medium action rod. Now, only time will tell if this thing has a lot of long-lasting durability. I certainly wouldn't make this my #1 spinning reel, but for a secondary setup, it's really nice. For a setup for the wife or the girlfriend, if she's not an avid fisherwoman, if she just wants to come out every now and again and have a good time and work something that's simple, then you know what, you can't beat it for 30 bucks. Smash cut back to the apartment. A lot of people have been asking me what I'm doing, like beard tips to get this thing looking right. It's a product called Grave Before Shave. I ain't got it like Weston though. That dude's got it way up here. It's too long. I can't deal with mustache that long. Anyway, the Abu Garcia Black Max 30 series spinning reel. Quick thoughts. Bear in mind this reel is at the $30 price point. I've seen people find it for a little bit cheaper than that. Maybe you can as well. But I'm going to compare it to other reels at a similar price point. It would be unfair to compare a $30 reel to a $100, $200, $300 spinning reel. Construction-wise, it's got a graphite body, so it's nice and light. I do wish the handle on this thing was just a little bit longer and the grip was just a little bit bigger, but that's kind of a preference thing. So I'll give that one a 3 out of 5 just for how it fits with me. Castability, the line just flies right off the spool, even at 16-pound monofilament, which for something like this is pretty dang big. Certainly gonna drop this thing down to maybe a 10 or 12-pound monofilament, even maybe go down to an 8 or a 10-pound braid, in which case you're really gonna increase your line capacity. You're gonna be able to just zing that thing way out there, especially if you're throwing heavier baits. So really no issues out of it, 4 out of 5 in that category. Smoothness and speed. It's got a 4 ball bearing system. There are other reels in this space that have moved up to a 5 bearing system, thinking of the Lew's American Hero. So this thing could definitely be a little bit smoother. Now the one that I bought is a 5.4 to 1 gear ratio. It's right in that mid-range of what you're going to get out of spinning gear. Now you could certainly go with a faster reel depending on what you're going to use it for, but 5.4 to 1 is a good all-purpose speed for something like this. Can't really complain as far as the gear ratio, but adding that extra ball bearing in there would make this thing a much smoother reel. I give it a 3 out of 5. The drag system, absolutely no slips at all. You saw me, I didn't have this drag set super tight. It was relatively loose and I didn't slip at all. Even on the bigger of the 2 fish, the first one didn't fight me, you saw that, but the second one did, and with the drag set relatively loose, no slip whatsoever. Gotta give this a 4 out of 5, at least, maybe a 5 out of 5. Durability, really don't know. It's only the second time I've ever fished this reel, so it's just gonna be something that we have to use for the next couple of months or even a year to find out just how durable the Abu Garcia Black Max 30 series spinning reel is. If you've got one of these, if you've used it for a while, tell me what kind of issues you've had with it, if any. Those of you who have had it for a lot longer would certainly have a more intimate knowledge of how this thing holds up over time. I don't do a whole lot of review videos. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up button and maybe consider clicking that subscribe button down in the corner. It costs you nothing and it helps me grow this channel. Back soon with another video here on Diesel Does Fishing.
Are you listening?